Hey everybody, this is Gray Shipley. I'm here on the farm at Shipley Farms Beef. Lots of folks running out of ground beef, running out of meat at the grocery stores with everybody stocking up and hoarding meat. And we're actually running a little bit short on ground ourselves here and have been working to get some more animals into the mix and get some more in the freezer so we can get stuff out. But in the meantime, I wanted to share this idea with you folks for how to make a steak burger. Some of you may be cleaning out stuff that's been in your freezer for a while. We ended up getting stuff that's pushed to the back of the freezer. And so, in the absence of ground beef, what I've done, I've gone to the freezer and we've just pulled out some product that's been sitting back there for too long. And so this is a piece of flat meat that comes off the sirloin. This is a New York strip steak that's actually, I think, from 2017. Stuck back there for too long. And this is a top sirloin steak. And also, if you are cleaning out your freezer, a lot of folks ask, how long can I freeze something? How long is something good for? You know, what do I make of these dates? And the key is not so much this stuff, if it's kept cold and it's kept sealed, the key is that it's just kept intact and it can keep for a really long time. So we're gonna cut this up. But this here is a New York strip. As I say, it's been in the freezer for over 2 years, but the vacuum seal is intact and everything is good, and so that meat is still great. I would actually be happy to throw that on the grill and grill it as a steak. This is what you want to look for. So here you can see this has been in the freezer and the vacuum seal has broken. And so that you can see that one is maintained its color and its quality, and this one is starting to look a little bit pale. You can see where it's got some freezer burn there and just where that's, so there's nothing unsafe about this, but you're just going to lose a little bit of quality and it may taste a little bit odd. It might not be too bad to cut that up in the ground, but probably the best thing is to cut this up into bits and maybe share it with your favorite animal. So I'm going to set that over there to the side. So I'm just going to start, and one of the things, anytime you're cutting meat, you want to cut against the grain. And the reason for that is, you know, when you get the fibers, the muscle fibers, when you get those cut shorter, it's just going to make it less chewy and make it eat a little bit better. So normally our steaks, the grain is going to run this way through the steak, so our steaks are already going to be sliced and cut against the grain. But when you have items like this, you have the grain running this way, so when you cut it, you're going to want to slice it against the grain like that. So let me just start, I'm going to start here with this flap, because what's nice about this, probably could have sharpened the knife a little bit, but so that is some really beautiful, and you want to, in ground, you really want to make sure you get some good fat, get the flavor and hold the burger together. So I'm just going to cut up a little bit of this. And cut up a little bit of this sirloin. I'm going to cut it this way. And the other thing I've done is I went over to the freezer and we have some of this beef fat. And a lot of times folks that hunt may take some fat and use it with deer processing, take it to their deer processor. You can also render it down and make beef tallow. Folks make, if you're bored in the quarantine, you can start making candles from home, making soap, all kinds of things you can do with it, but it also is a nice thing to just kind of chop up and add into our steak burger here. I'll add that back in a minute. So you're really just kind of dicing this like you would an onion or a tomato, and just keep kind of cutting it up and just kind of rough chop it. All right, so we've got some of this cut up, and I just want to make sure I get this little chunk of this strip steak with this good rich fat in there. You get kind of a rough chop, and this gives you more of a consistency of a steak burger. Of course, you can go, if you've got a good knife and good knife skills, you can keep going as fine as you want to get it. But there's kind of chunks of meat. And now I'm just going to add chunks of fat too. It's same kind of thing, just kind of dice it. And what that'll do is once it gets in there, it'll really melt and bind the burger together and get you that fat and pull the flavor out. So now you're just gonna kind of knead this together a little bit and let it get mixed up. And probably the best thing to do is get all this finished, put it in a bowl and mix it up good. But what I end up with here is just kind of two nice fist-sized burgers. And there's another one. So a little homemade ground beef. This can also, you can do the same thing and turn this into meat for spaghetti sauce or make chili with it. Most anything that you would do with ground beef, you can do with this stuff as well. So that's an idea we wanted to share with you. Until we get some more ground beef in stock, until you can find more at the grocery store, you can do the same thing. We actually have some stuff if anybody's nearby and interested in what we may have in the freezer that you can use to chop up. Give us a call. But wanted to give this idea for you, for anybody that may not have a meat grinder at home. I imagine if you have your own meat grinder at home, you probably aren't watching this video. You probably could give us advice. But for the rest of you, here's an idea for a steak burger using some Shipley Farms. This will keep you going, keep you entertained, and keep you busy as you are cooped up at home waiting for us all to get released back out in the wild. So that's it for today.